Hey, what's going on, everybody? Commander Crane here, and we are back with another Pioneer deck tech and the final deck tech celebrating the Lost Caverns of Ixalan's release, which is right around the corner. Today, we're going to be talking about Coco Dinosaurs in Pioneer. I'm very excited to bring this list to you. As always, before we head into the video, let me know in the comment section below. What do you like about the list? What do you like? What do you hate? What would you change? And as always, if you have any suggestions for upcoming videos, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. And feel free to check out the videos that we released this week. We went into detail about a whole bunch of new cards and a whole bunch of new decks that are coming out. Either upgrades to previous decks or brand new entire decks that are coming out. We also talk about a standard deck as well. If you're interested in playing standard, just had to throw that in there. So, all right. Coco Dinosaurs. So obviously most people think of dinosaurs, being 4, 5, 6, 7 drops, these big monstrosities that we're trying to ramp into. But there's a lot of dinosaurs that are about the 3 converted mana costs that are very, very big. You'd be surprised, when you think of a 6/6, you think of 5, 6, 7 mana, but we've got some that are only 3 mana in this deck. So let's go ahead and hop into the deck here. So obviously we need some 1-drops. We're playing 4 Elvish Mystics, 4 Llanowar Elves, and 2 Ixali's Lore Keeper. So obviously we're Coco Dinosaurs, so we're playing Collected Company. We need to be able to ramp into the Collected Company as well. That's why we're playing 4 Elvish Mystics and 4 Llanowar Elves. The Ixali's Lore Keeper is unable to ramp into the Collected Company, but it's still a mana dork that helps play our dinosaurs a little bit early, which is just fantastic. In a deck like this, we get 10 mana dorks, which is just fantastic. So those are our 1-drops that we're playing. This slide here, obviously we've got a dinosaur, and then we've got 2 very, very good non-dinosaurs. We're playing 2 Itzquinth Firstborn of Gishath, 2/3 for 2 with haste. When it enters the battlefield, you may pay 2. When you do, target dinosaur you control deals damage equal to its power to another target creature. So obviously, if we've got 2 mana, it's just a 2/3 for 2 with haste, which is fantastic. But if we have 4 mana, our biggest dinosaur, we get to steal its power essentially and deal that much damage to any other creature. So if our opponent's playing some, like Adeline or whatever, like, oh, hey, we've got this 7/6 dinosaur, we're gonna deal 7 damage to that thing for an extra 2 mana, which is just fantastic. So obviously we're playing Collected Company. We want a couple of really good creatures to be able to Collected Company into. So Bone Crusher Giant itself is obviously not a dinosaur, but it's still fantastic. Obviously, when we Collected Company, we can put it in play, and then with the Stomp, obviously, we have a removal spell on top of that. Just a very, very efficient card in general. We're also playing 4 Reckless Stormseeker. The card is absolutely fantastic. Again, itself is not a dinosaur, but it's still just that good. The front side, obviously, being able to give a creature +1/+0 in haste, and then obviously the back side, being able to give +2/+0 in trample and haste is just fantastic, especially with our dinosaurs that, we play in the turn after, and we can give them haste and start turning them sideways. It's just an absolutely fantastic card. So, couple of our other dinosaurs here. I would say the big ones. I mean, they are pretty big, but we still get to put them into play with Collected Company. We're playing 4 Belligerent Yearling, 3/2 for 2 with Trample. Whenever another dinosaur enters the battlefield under your control, you may have Belligerent Yearling's base power become equal to that creature's power until end of turn. So if we have a Belligerent Yearling in play, we get to play that. And then let's say we play, for instance, a Pugnacious Hammerskull or a Rotting Regisaur after, that we can copy its power so we can make it a 7/2 or a 6/2 with Trample, which is just absolutely fantastic. I'm definitely a big fan of Belligerent Yearling. We're also playing 4 Pugnacious Hammerskull and 4 Rotting Regisaur. Just big dinosaurs for only 3 mana. Pugnacious Hammerskull essentially is just a 6/6 for 3 mana. We very rarely are ever going to have it get a stun counter just because we play so many different dinosaurs. It's generally not an issue. And then Rotting Regisaur, obviously 7/6. At the beginning of our upkeep, we do discard a card, but it doesn't matter because we get a 7/6 that we're going to be playing as early as turn 2 or turn 3 or any turns after that. Maybe even giving it haste with Reckless Stormseeker. Who knows? So, Rotting Regisaur and Pugnacious Hammerskull are definitely the core of the deck. So we have one more slide to talk about before we talk about our lands. We are playing 4 Collected Companies. Obviously, the deck name is called Coco Dinos. So obviously everybody kind of knew we were going to be playing Collected Company. Look at the top 6 cards of your library, put up to 2 creature cards with CMC 3 or less from among them onto the battlefield, and the rest of the bottom of your library in any order. Obviously, fantastic. We can put in any combination of cards. Obviously, we have the potential to pay 4 mana and get 14 power worth of creatures, which is just absolutely crazy to think about. So Collected Company, definitely very good, especially with our dinosaur deck that we were playing. Then we are also playing 1 Galta Primal Hunger. Yes, it's not a 3-drop we can put into play, but it doesn't matter because we're playing 6/6s and 7/6s, so we are very easily going to be able to put Galta into play with our deck. We're just playing 1 because, again, we can't hit it with Collected Company, but it doesn't matter. It's so easy to cast it in this deck that we still want a card like Galta in the deck overall. So that's our entire main board, but don't go anywhere. We still have to talk about our lands. We were playing 4 Stomping Ground, 1 Blood Crypt, and 1 Overgrown Tomb, obviously staple dual lands of the format. We were also playing 4 Copperline Gorge, 4 Blooming Marsh, and 2 Blackleaves Cliffs. Then we are playing 1 Boseiju and 1 Lair of the Hydra. We're not playing very many of the flex lands here just because, we are a 3-color deck. We don't want a bunch of just green sources, so we're very, very light on the utility lands in the deck. Then rounding out our lands, we were playing 3 Cavern of Souls and 1 Forest. Obviously, Cavern of Souls, brand new card from Lost Caverns. Well, it's not brand new, it's a reprint. It's brand new to the format, but we're a 3-color creature deck. We're playing a whole bunch of dinosaurs, so obviously we're going to be playing Cavern of Souls. Then we're playing just 1 Forest. Again, 3-color deck. We don't want too many just green sources as our special land of the day. I know I featured this one on the channel before, but it is the very cool Jumpstart Forest. This card is extremely cheap. I really love the Jumpstart lands. I cannot recommend them enough. Obviously, like, we got a couple of the dinosaurs in the back there, so it's very on theme with our deck. This land has actually never been reprinted. This specific art hasn't, so I highly suggest picking those up sooner than later. So, all right, that's our entire deck here. We got to talk about the sideboard, though, real quick. So, sideboarding, obviously, we need some graveyard hate. Tormod's Crypt and Klothys is our best option for graveyard hate. We also want a little bit of extra removal. We've got quite a few different options. If we got Rending Volley, which is fantastic. We're also Jund, so we get to play cards like Abrupt Decay or Assassin's Trophy. It's kind of up to you depending on what your local metagame looks like, but there is quite a few good options. And then obviously I put Damping Sphere and Klothys just because they're very disruptive cards that we can play in our deck. Klothys is fantastic just because we can hit it with Collected Company. It's also very good against the regular low-to-the-ground aggro decks, mid-range, and control. It's just a very, very great creature in general. And then Damping Sphere, obviously good against the mono-green Devotion decks. Lotus Combo, it's also good against that, as well as also being pretty solid against the Is It Phoenix decks, just because it's harder for them to bring their Phoenixes back from the graveyard. Then we are also playing Thoughtseize because we're playing Jund. Why not play the best black card in the entire format? So Thoughtseize, absolutely fantastic in the sideboard as well. So, but don't go anywhere. We still have to talk about our budget options. So, budget options for this deck, if we're looking to cut costs a little bit. Main thing I wanted to include is the creatures in this deck are extremely cheap. A bunch of them just got reprinted or are brand new cards in standard, so they're not generally too expensive. If you want to pick up these creatures, it's very cheap. We could also cut the utility lands, which will definitely help the cost a lot. Cards like the Cavern of Souls is kind of in the Boseiju are the main utility lands, but the main way to keep it cheap is just play the fast, the pain lands, and the slow lands. We can go ahead and cut those shocks. It definitely helps the costs go down on the deck quite a bit. But quite frankly, if you're really looking to save some room on this, you could just go ahead and cut the black in general and just play Gruul. If you're looking to play this style of deck, like Collected Company's kind of pricey. If you're looking to play regular dinosaurs, I've got a brand new list that was just featured on the channel. You can go ahead and go to the playlist and check out, Gruul Dinosaurs, and I have a fantastic list there as well. It'll also be at the end of the video, like I'll have it popped up on screen if you'd like to check it out there as well. But, if you're looking to play Collected Company Dinosaurs, obviously Collected Company is the main card of the deck. So again, if you don't want to buy Collected Company, I would pivot to a more traditional dinosaur build myself. So, all right, well, we have reached the end of the video and the end of the Lost Caverns of Ixalan deck list extravaganza. We'll go ahead and call it that. I'd like to thank everybody for watching this video, and if you watched all of the previous videos. But if you haven't checked out those previous videos, go ahead and check them out. They just came out this week. Feel free to go ahead and check those out. Let me know what you think about those deck lists and this one in the comment section below. So, I'm Commander Crane. Thanks so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.